All right, what's up, everybody? So, this video is an introduction to this idea of hypothesis testing. So, as a matter of building on knowledge, I always tell you I want to make sure you understand how it is that what we're talking about now is established on other things that we've covered already in the course. This particular part of this module is going to be split up into two different sections, one of which will cover hypothesis testing, and the second section will cover the first analysis test, which is called a t-test. But for hypothesis testing, we're going to lean back on our idea of z-scores. I know we didn't spend a whole lot of time touching on the t-ratio and even alpha level in the previous module. However, we're going to learn a little bit more about the relevance of the t-ratio to talking about hypothesis testing, and a little bit more about the t-test later, and then how the alpha level is a necessary component of navigating hypothesis testing. So a little bit of background to hypothesis testing. As I've mentioned several times, it's impossible and at the very least impractical for us to be able to gather data or observe every single individual or every single thing that we are hoping to observe within a population. And because of that, researchers are really only concerned with pulling maybe one or two samples of of their population in order to run analyses on. And so hypothesis testing allows the use of sample data to draw inference to the population. So I'll give you a definition for hypothesis testing. I start with this definition that hypothesis is an educated guess or explanation based on observations, largely because if you've grown up in the United States, for example, I think it's most common in maybe the middle school, maybe even fifth grade these days, where you're first introduced to this idea of the scientific method, and part of the scientific method is making educated guesses about things. And that principle is still applicable here in behavioral statistics or social sciences. Hypothesis testing is a statistical method that uses sample data to evaluate a hypothesis about a population. The four steps to hypothesis testing include stating a hypothesis about a population, using the hypothesis to describe expected values, obtain a random sample from the population, and finally compare the obtained sample data with the prediction. Okay, so this presentation overall, this particular module is really exploring much more in depth each of these four steps, and then we'll learn a little bit more, of course.